It's clearly reviews, and here today we're going to be doing a interview with LMC Media. This is someone who is very influential in my whole video making, and this is someone who I definitely feel is someone who can motivate a lot more people. With this said, we definitely covered some interesting topics throughout this whole interview, so I think this will be something that everyone finds fun to listen to. I will be doing a lot more interviews on this channel, and this channel right here is going to be a channel where I am able to not only do interviews but also different documentaries and stuff along those lines. So I think you're going to find this channel to be something that you definitely want to subscribe to. I definitely hope that's something that you do, and I hope you enjoy this video.
When when did you even like start getting into videos and all that? Was it something that you were getting into when you were in school or
No, not really. I mean, no, not really. I mean, kind of. So, high school, not really. I mean, I did like photo class, but I didn't really take video seriously until I got into more so the legal I-502 industry in Washington State, where I had to
okay.
do a lot, wear a number of different hats, whether it's like marketing or sales or but marketing was one of them. And so creating the content was just self-taught pretty much about like maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
So where did
So
you
six, like 4 or 5 years ago, more so probably. No, five. Yeah.
oh, okay. So where did you originally grow up?
Seattle, Washington. That's where I am currently right now.
Oh,
But
perfect. So
yeah,
you're still like very close to the mix, you know what I mean?
yeah, you said, like you said, near home, or
Well, you're close to like where it's like all like everything's big, you know what I mean? Like where everything is like active in the cannabis scene.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
central Seattle, like definitely, all the West Coast markets, definitely, they were, yeah, they're pretty dope. They're still dope, but there's, it's a lot of it's died off, the way it used to be. But
yeah.
uh,
I honestly am not like super familiar with like the Seattle scene, so I don't want to speak on it like too much. But what I do know is like I don't know I'm not gonna speak too much on that scene. I don't really know too much. But when it came to you, like what was your like huge influence for cannabis when you were young?
my brother was a big influence for sure. I mean, he like the joke I always make is like I could have gone, played college baseball, but my brother ended up bringing me like 10 pounds from Oregon my freshman year of high school, and it was kind of over for that. I was gonna trap. So nah, but it's just, yeah, it's this big culture here. I was fortunate enough to be kind of, I went to high school kind of literally by the time, like right at the end of middle school for me, beginning of high school, they had just legalized cannabis. And then my whole high school pretty much was like that dead limbo period where they had like they've legalized it, but they haven't implemented a system. And so
Was
it's,
it? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you go.
Was it popular in your school?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
So that's like
Very.
a that's an interesting environment because like the East Coast, I don't know if like you must be familiar with like it's just wasn't super popular before. Now it's becoming like this
Is it
new.
becoming, it wasn't as popular before. Yeah, dude. I mean, we used to literally, I mean, granted, I graduated high school in 2015, so that's what, almost what.
Can I ask this though? You said baseball. Were you very into sports when you were young?
Yeah, I love sports, bro. Basketball, played football, played, baseball, I played all of them, bro.
Perfect.
I
Yeah.
love I love sports, bro. But no, I mean like we would do like smoke blunts before like football practice, bro. Like we would go smoke blunts at like 10 a.m. lunchtime, right after school. Go, yeah, bro. Like it was
That's
honestly, yeah, yeah. Like I
that's
used to I
dope
used to
though.
sell pounds out of my fucking high school, bro. Like I literally used to have like I'd have like 10 pounds in my car, and I like
Really.
literally, yeah. It
Were
was
you
it was because I was legally allowed to have a pound and a half on me at the time too, because that's what medical card allowed for. But I would have way more. But
really?
Yeah, bro. Back in the day, they used
That's
to, yeah,
killer.
24 ounces legally.
Let me ask you this though: were you ever smoking during the period you were playing sports though? Like, did you ever see that actually gave you somewhat of a benefit in a creative way?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, there's definitely some times, bro, where
I
I
know what you
was
mean.
super off, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Or I was like, or it was just like way more terrible, bro. Like I've done some pretty intense workouts, just super fucking stoned, bro. Like, bear crawls, bro. Like I remember we smoked. There was the one time I smoked a blunt, like right before football, and we had something had happened. I can't remember. We got in trouble or whatever. Me and my homies, we had to literally bear crawl for like 1,000 yards, which is like that shit was terrible. Anyway, but like,
No, I
I don't know.
honestly,
I don't know if it enhances me really. I don't know. Maybe a little bit more on focus, but it's been a while.
I I know exactly what you mean. I think that it's like it's an interesting thing. It's like I just did this like documentary on Sean O'Malley, and I think that it could kind of help him in weird ways, but it's interesting. I think that was just a fun one to do. But let's get back on track. Honestly, what was the first video that you actually did?
What was the first video that I did? Trying to think, bro.
Can I ask this too, though? Can I don't want to like load up the question, but like
Sure.
I have seen a post that you said that you like you deleted some of the posts in the beginning, like where it wasn't necessary. You know what I mean? It was like kind of videos where it was like learning. You had to learn
Yeah,
from.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I do the first, dude. I probably have on my main LMC channel like maybe like a little under 2,000 videos, bro. Like that's how many like and right now if you look on my channel, I probably more like 1,700, 1,800 maybe. Collectively though on my other channels too, like I probably definitely have over 2,000 different videos for sure. But I mean, yeah, I've taken down like right now if you look at my channel, about 100 like 113 like 23 videos I think. And it's a lot of it is I realized that the algorithm on YouTube is something where you want to have people like binge your content. You want to have people like go from like documentary, you know what I'm saying? Like that's that obviously is nice and that helps with the algorithm. But like if you get if you have a video that maybe isn't as, like the quality is so different that if it gets if somebody gets recommended that video, it can stop them from going on to go binge that content. You know what I'm saying? So like, you want people to go on a run. You want people to like, watch one, two, three, four, five videos of yours in a row or that day. If you have one of those videos in the middle that are like pretty substantially different in terms of quality, you know, some people would argue not to, but I actually think that like getting rid of some of those videos is not getting rid of them, but just taking them off that main channel can be beneficial for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean, 100%. It's amazing to say this because like I would have probably disagreed with myself a while ago, but I've learned that like a lot of the stuff that I was doing was kind of it was just like trial and error. I was kind of throwing shit at the fan, seeing what sticks, but
Bro,
it
it's
was
all about, bro, it's literally, dude, this is the key to life, like key to business, key to really anything in your life, dude. Just try to like fail fast, bro. The moment you start like to like fail fast and you like it means you're learning fast, right? The thing you don't want to have is the repetitive mistakes, right? You're making the same mistake over and over. You want to make obviously a bunch of different types of mistakes. Like because dude, the faster you lose in different ways, the quicker you're gonna win.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. You have to trial and error is important in growth and just development in general. You have to really see what's going to be suited for you. So that leads me perfectly into this question. When did you start seeing that documentaries was like even an option for you?
So right when like it was pretty much like a year and a half in, or I think maybe a year, 2 year, almost 2 years in. Like the very beginning of the pandemic, I was like just doing like tons of these kind of like, more news analysis videos that are kind of more like on off the cuff, right? And this, I eventually finally started. I was like, let me do this idea, like let me kind of do like a case study slash storytelling about like Burner's story, or like the first person, I started with Burner and Cookies Cannabis. And I was like, let me just actually script this out. Let me write this out. So, I wrote this out. So it took a lot longer to produce, but I put that out, and I kind of uploaded it, kind of went on my merry way and like continued to do the same content I was already doing. But like a week later, right, I get this. I mean, I start to see the numbers start to shoot up for this burner video, and I'm like, okay, right, like right there, that's exactly what I mean. This is what it's all about, like getting that consumer feedback, getting that feedback from the algorithm, aka, via obviously your the viewers. But as after that happened, I kind of started to slowly stop doing the old content and moved into the documentaries. And really, I would call them initially video essays more so, but they've yeah, I've kind of done it was easier kind of just to say documentary initially, but I think I definitely do documentaries now, but you know
I think, yeah, the documentary is like, I think it's like a growing process. You kind of have to like get your feet wet first and like kind of like do ones where it's like, this might not sound great to say, but it's like you kind of have to do ones where you're almost like using interviews and stuff like that, where it's you're using the information that you can gather and making a timeline and
yeah
going off of like that. But it's obviously like the real in-depth documentaries that you see, like where they're following the person around, like those can be dope as well. I do think that these ones that have been done in the cannabis field as of early, like the ones of you from you, are very beneficial for people that are looking for motivation and just looking for like a positive like outlook on what is possible, due to the fact that there is like a lot of people who aren't necessarily coming from like great places, or maybe they came from like an interesting place where they had to take a huge loss, or somewhere along the lines things didn't go great, you know what I mean? So it's like it shows that anyone can do it, in my
yeah
opinion. I think it's all
well,
about
bro,
just
it's funny, you say that, bro. It's like, in a lot of ways, I always I've kind of reflected on this, and like, dude, my life was kind of in shambles before I started doing like the I trapped my whole life, right? Sold weed, and like, I had just built up so many bad habits from it, just growing up like that. And just like I had everything kind of crash and burn. Like I really hit probably one of my lowest points ever would be right before kind of, like kind of the start of the very kind of start of the pandemic, maybe a little bit before that. And it was definitely a little bit before that, but it was kind of it because I got this job at, this company Space Weed. I started doing this media stuff. Bro, I was like, in my parents' basement, just grinding it out, bro. Like, just broken up with a girlfriend of mine. Just like, you know, it I like I don't know. I kind of had to have that optimism myself because I'm like the same people. I want to be, just because, the videos I do, they're for other people, but they're also for myself. Like
mm,
it allows me to learn. It allows me to, stay motivated as well. And I'm always trying to, people can do this. It just takes a lot of work. And I'm all about, optimism and, encouragement, because if you really want it, you can do it. Like, and you can put yourself in situations that'll like, for me, dude, when I started doing my YouTube stuff, I kind of was like, okay, like I burned the ships, bro. I burned the ships, like where I'm like, I've now put my face out there. I'm talking hell about, I'm like, I'm gonna look like a real idiot if I don't succeed, right? And it's not even like, and more so, like I was, I had it in my mind, bro, where I knew like this is the path I'm taking, bro. And there's only one way out, bro, and it's straight ahead. That's where the light is. There's no turning back.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah.
I think that it's I don't know. I agree. I definitely, I think, you can see where I'm coming from in an interesting way, where you can see that I don't know. I'm not necessarily someone who's going to allow people to predict my future. You know what I mean? I have my game plans and I know what my goals are. So no matter what gets in my way, just part of the journey.
Part of the journey,
So
bro. Yeah. Yeah, dude. And I'll say this real last thing I'll say on that, bro, is like, dude, you're doing it, bro. Because the fact is, bro, like the one of the biggest superpowers I always say that I have, that I think you have as well, is like you're not afraid to put yourself out there, bro. You're not afraid to look stupid. You're not afraid to make mistakes, and that's like the number one. Dude, that's one of the biggest, in my opinion, indicators of someone's going to be successful. If they're, because, dude, how many people are just like afraid to even like say their piece, bro, on online, right? Like,
everyone, I think that that is like the. It's sad to say, but I think that that is like the majority of people, and it's something to definitely be proud of yourself if you are someone who can stand up for yourself in a way. You know what I mean? At least
absolutely.
say what you feel. And maybe I go about it in a unorganized, improper way sometimes, and I feel as if that is the best way to go about it due to
Yeah.
the fact that that is actually going to really make the person think and make the person actually, whether or not they're going to take me serious, they're going to think about it. So
They're
uh
gonna they're gonna think about this, bro, too. And this is the thing that I always like urge everyone to remember is like people don't remember the times that you like, like when you look like so when you look stupid, like it's like people only really remember the last time they saw you. Like a lot of times is the case. What I mean by that is like, you know, the mistakes you make and doing that stuff, dude, people are never gonna remember that kind of stuff, bro. They remember what you develop into and what you end up as. And so, yeah.
for perfect example of what you're saying, look at someone like Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Look at someone like Mike Tyson where he has been through, in my opinion, that is like a journey that can influence people to not have to go through all of that nonsense to be able to get to the same spot. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're I hate to say it like this. I think we're in a time where people are kind of a little bit too comfortable and they're a little bit too, they're allowed to say things that aren't necessarily fully true and not get judged upon it. You know what I mean? So it's like to have people that will judge you publicly and like actually like cast their opinion publicly is fair. I think that people that hide it and will like try to like speak about you bad when you're not there and like will like do all that stuff are the people that you should really be worried about. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, the people who really tell you how they feel are the ones that are actually going to keep it real with you in all ways. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah,
I
bro.
don't
You
know.
don't want no yes man around you, bro. Trust me.
Yes.
Oh, that'll
Even though I just said yes to
that,
that.
trust me. That or just yeah, bro. You wanna, dude, my family is super critical. Like my
Yeah.
mom and my mom and my brother more so. And they've like, honestly, dude, they just can't help themselves. They like to critique things, maybe to a extra degree. But at the same time,
Over
like over my lifetime, I've realized, like, dude, that's actually in a lot of ways made me a better person in a number of ways, honestly. So, yeah,
in the bigger picture, you can appreciate it. There is great that you can get out of any situation. It's all about how you interpret the situation and how you actually like use it for yourself. I think that there is a lesson to be learned in any loss or any situation in general. So it's like I don't know. What I've learned though, to kind of like just end this thing because I kind of don't want to speak about myself in this video, but just to say this, what I have learned though is like me being able to say some of this like somewhat negative stuff has been also the way that I've been able to spread some positive. You know what I mean? So it's like me being able to get my way into that door and being able to actually show that I am trying to do this in an appropriate way is kind of influencing people to do it in a more appropriate way. If anyone has been noticing this, there was a huge wave with this like candy stuff. And of course, any candy weed could be great if it's grown properly. I think everyone knows this. Any weed could be good if it's grown properly. So it's like, I don't want to like keep beating a dead horse and saying that like candy this, whatever. But I do think people have to really just take everything serious and like really like take their what they're smoking serious. Like that is one thing that like obviously like you can't like say too much because like we're gonna learn there's new ways to manipulate the plant and all this different shit, and it's like sad to see, but it is like the way of the market. But I don't know. I don't want to beat the
What do
dead
you think
horse.
about the what do you think about like the spray packs, bro? Like all the
That is a wave that is like, I'm on the East Coast right now.
yeah.
There is people who will look at clean weed and just be like, that's mids. And they have no idea what clean weed like really like is supposed to look like, all this stuff. But like people are literally just like quick to buy this stuff that just comes in a bag and will smell like this or be marketed as this, but they are very aware. I think that people are very aware at this point. But what I can say is it is easier to trick a man than it is to tell a man that he has been tricked. So what I mean by that is that right now people are in this stage where they're just like in delusion, where they're just like, oh my god, like yeah, I have spent so much money on this, so it's like fuck, I can't just like admit that I was played. You know what I mean? They're kind of like fading out of that. Like I bet a lot of people are gonna just stop smoking weed, like that Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're gonna stop smoking weed and then they're gonna come back and like start smoking dispensary nonsense. Then they're gonna start buying like shit from people that really know what they're talking about, and it's
Hopefully,
just stages,
hopefully, bro.
stages.
I feel like it's this though too. I feel like the spray pack stuff is like the very like one of the very major first kind of like steps in like the modern legal industry, bro, that's like on the road to like corporatization, bro, because because bro, sprinkles right now and all respect to them too, like I learned a lot more about spray pack stuff, bro, like where my mind's actually changed quite a bit actually on certain things, but like more so they take LCG, bro, and then they literally just have different types of terpenes, infused, right? Terpenes infused. And they can have 50 fucking flavors with one type of weed, though, technically. So it's like this is kind of a building block for like what we have like with Frito-Lay, for example. America has got all this processed food, this corporatized, like, you know, that's like this is kind of one of
Yeah.
those kind of steps on the way there, in my opinion. And it's gonna be
Um,
an but the problem is that people just need to be aware of the potential dangers. I think that's the number one thing is like they need to understand that this could be really, really, we don't really know.
it is.
And so that's where I
We
think it's the most important thing. They just need to have, informed consent, like,
that it is technically poisoning the
yeah,
person, in my
literally.
opinion. It's like if you are selling someone, think of it like you sell someone, you tell them this is water, but it is just like not water. You know what I mean? It's just a bottle of poison. It's
Or
like the same.
you tell them it's like sparkling water, with a little bit of lime, like, but 20 years later that lime is gonna be, potentially, cancerous or whatever, knock on wood. But
Yeah, like it
yeah.
is just it's so amazing to me that people are so willing to take this like approach to the marketing. And also to me, in the bigger picture, it is like not even like surprising that a lot of these people are being sold on the idea. To be honest, like everyone going into cannabis is not going to be super aware of genetics and just like what it takes to actually make up a certain terpene profile like that comes out of a strain. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, that's the
very
number one problem, bro. That's the number one thing that I've like because okay, first of all, there's a difference between spray packs and infused packs. That's what I've learned. So like spray packs are like really bad. Infused packs are bad for you, but they're not as bad, right? Because the spray packs are like you're in a bucket, you're spraying like it doesn't get burnt off when you use an actual like machine, those machines, like I interviewed the guy who that video went super viral of the machine, the owner of that company. And I mean, it is way like that is a much better version of it. It still isn't like healthy for you though at all, but it did like it did dude, it's here to stay, bro. It's kind of crazy, bro. Like it yeah.
I had someone make a very great point out a very great thing to me. Well, it's not great at all, but it makes sense at the end of the day. Someone said that with cigarettes there was like the menthol cigarette boom and all like that whole like boom with like putting all like that additives on like the different cigars and all that stuff. Remember, like there was all these like
Yeah,
crazy
bro. You could
flavors.
never, you could like, dude, if you smoked a menthol, remember you could never go to space. You remember that?
No, I never heard of that.
That's
I can't lie. I'm 24, so it's like, I mean, maybe I just am in like a weird part of the world where people like we're just like very much not talking about like smart shit. To be honest, when I was growing up, people are always like talking about like the dumbest stuff in the world. Even like now, I feel like people they kind of talk
yeah,
about
that's everywhere, bro. Don't worry. That's everywhere. Trust me. Like it's
space though. That is like a that is an interesting thing. What is up with the space weed?
Space Weed, yeah, it's a company that I first started working with actually, and then I kind of came full circle. Just became like a part owner in it. And it's just it's this technology really, like it's the equivalent to like, freeze drying or the sublimation really. And the process of sublimation is just, manipulating the different states of water. So, like, for example, you freeze it and then you heat it up so that you skip the liquid phase. So, because there's solid, liquid, and gaseous. And so it skips the liquid phase and goes more towards the gaseous phase rapidly. So, I mean, if you wanted to, we don't really do this, but because, we have a number of other curing processes that go into space weed. But if you wanted to, you could technically harvest a crop and literally smoke it the next day.
Wow,
So it rapidly extracts moisture content. That's really a good way to kind of understand.
wow. I would love to learn more on that. I
Yeah,
honestly never.
I'll send. I'll definitely will send you some here soon, bro. To check it out.
Are you gonna be going to the 420 in New York?
Dude, more and more people are telling me I should
Not
do it.
too.
So,
Oh, really?
yeah. So
I
I'm. I
thought you were
was,
saying
I was
not
out. I
to.
was out there last year, so it was super lit.
I'm gonna be there for sure. It's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be a fun one to
Yeah.
document. I
It
want
was
to do like
hell of fun last year, bro. It was crazy. Like, yeah.
yeah, definitely. If you are, then I'll
Yeah,
definitely have
dude,
to
we'll
get
have
you.
to link up. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I need to figure that out. It's coming up here pretty soon.
Definitely. I'm. It's literally a month away from us right now, but it's gonna be interesting. I think that it's gonna be like one of those years where it's going to be just flooded with people. I think that there's probably going to be like
I think it'll be way more, bro, because I was there last year and that was the first year of 420 when it was legal.
yeah.
But
I heard.
I think the second year is
I
gonna be
just heard
more.
great things.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I really wish I went. I'm sorry, I fucking cut you off right there.
No, no,
But
no. It's the delay, bro. Don't even trip. Yeah, no, that shit was. I mean, it was yeah, super lit. But I'm excited, bro. Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking my homie's throwing an event I definitely want to go to. So no, yeah, definitely. We'll
that
definitely have to link up.
yeah, the first smoke of the day event that is looking like the it's looking like they're having a lot of success with all these different events that they're doing. It's very dope that they're actually taking that step and actually like doing these types of events that are kind of like old school in a way, but it's like just good for the community. And in my opinion, that would be something. Well, that would be something I would love to do, but it's just like it's gonna be a ways away before I could ever do something like that. I want to. What they're doing is just it's respectable. I want to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, dude, those are the homies, bro. I'm gonna see them actually on April 9th randomly. I'm gonna be filming a documentary for one of the people that are going on their podcast. But no, bro, they crush with the parties, bro. I mean, I love all the parties I've been to. Um, yeah, and like, Lance and Cody, they're the homies for sure. I love their grind, bro. It's been really dope to see them what they've been doing with the events. They've definitely taken it to another level, and it's definitely inspiring, bro. And I think I think it's just it's the event. It's interesting with events, bro. Like the events are like a great. I mean, whenever people I think get an excuse to get together, not to like take anything away from First Smoke, people are gonna go, especially if it's done right.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
I think that they just have a great way of networking and overall, like of course, like the interviews are stuff you can learn a lot from. So
yeah.
I've
The
definitely
pod, the podcasts are always good, bro, because the podcasts are really great for a number of reasons. One is like you get an interview, you get to network with someone while you're interviewing them, right? You get
Mm.
to develop a rapport, right? And it's like a great way. And then you also leverage the other person's audience, and it's like, if you do it consistently and at a high level, like they've been doing, they're starting to reach success. So it's super dope to see.
I I honestly I think that they are like a huge influence in like the market right now and just like the
Yeah.
whole game right now. I think that they are doing it very well. But with that said, who else in this game do you really see that has like influenced you in like a super positive way?
There's a lot of people, bro, honestly. I mean, just the whole community really just seeing the OGs, grind it out, seeing everyone, bro, just hustle and like, figure. And then I love the creativity, bro. Like with more competition, dude, there's just more creativity and, more pressure, bro. And like, what makes pressure, bro? Diamonds, bro. So it's like I love that, bro. And it's becoming like a very flourishing community, bro. I honestly, and it's been dope to see, be a part of that. So it's hard for me to say, like, there's so many people, like it's everyone, honestly, bro, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is definitely it's an early time in the whole like just rise of everything. So I do think that this is like a important time for people to really play their cards right in a way
Yep.
where they can make sure that they're setting themselves up for what they really are aiming for. In the bigger picture, there should be a lot of people that make it through this time, and I definitely see that a lot of people are setting themselves up in a great way. But out of all the brands, which brands do you think that are going to be still around in about 10 years, like that you have how should I say this? Which brands like out of like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Doja ones, you know what I mean? Like, do you think that they're gonna still be in the in the place of influence in 10 years?
10 years from now, I think yeah, dude. I think there'll be they'll be probably 10 years from now. I mean, to be honest, they'll probably be like 10% of the companies that we see, maybe like 20.
Hmm.
Like there's
Even
gonna
if
there's gonna be a lot of consolidation and a lot of people are gonna go out of business probably here in the next like 3 to 6 years. I mean, really. I mean, there's who knows though. I mean, like I said, we really don't know what's exactly gonna happen, but big money is starting to come in. It's definitely like I would say anybody that's in the game right now, like try to position yourself for when legalization happens. There's going to be a lot of money that's going to come into play, and there's going to be a surge of investment. So if you're trying to set yourself up, you're trying to get acquired, or you're trying to like cash out, like it's all about timing, bro. Honestly, but yeah, bro, it's hard for me to say. I think with brands that are going to be still around. I mean, yeah, I would say like, Jungle Boys, I think they're going to definitely still be around, because they've kind of built a pretty safe like, you know, vertical structure that's not too big, didn't expand too quickly. Um, Good fundamentals, don't have any really stores that I mean, at least in my knowledge of, which is maybe not completely fully informed, but in my mind, I don't think there's really any failing Jungle Boy stores, right? I think that almost all of them are doing pretty well.
I actually
Whereas,
haven't tried them
where-
yet.
yeah, whereas like certain companies, some of them aren't. What's gonna happen with, company like Cookies? Cookies right now, bro, has gotten so fucking big, dude, and it's gonna always be around. But I think what's gonna happen here is I think maybe there's gonna be a little bit of like a restruct, like a little bit of like a remodel a little bit of the brand, kind of bring it in a little bit, kind of rein it in a little bit, try to, reposition to attack the market. But I think that those are companies that are going to be around forever, probably, for quite some time at least. The Doja packs, yeah, crushing it for sure. It's just gonna be hard. It's hard, the thing about the cannabis industry, bro, as I'm sure you know, is like things can change rapidly, like like that's the thing that's really hard about this industry, bro, is like you have to be constantly adapting.
Hmm.
Like it's an adaptation game because it's going so quickly. We're at the very beginning. For example, like, it's yeah, it's the very, very beginning is critical, is, a lot of different critical moments are here. And it's kind of writing obviously the next, 10, 20 years of the industry. And so, we are lucky, we're blessed to be able to, have that shot at trying to, have our impact on that future. But, it's definitely hard to tell fully what the end result's going to be.
Do you think that the end of the LCG or runs era is anywhere in the near future?
That's a great question. It's hard for me, bro. I honestly no. Like that's the funniest part. Like no, I would say I think green weed's starting to come back. I think people are starting to get sick of the perps. With anything, bro, the more supply, you know, and then like if demand doesn't keep increasing, it's going to eventually drop, and then there's going to be more supply than there's demand, and then the perception over time and the obviously dollar amounts that are being, applied to the LCG perp kind of, gelato style looking weed, that's just going to go down. At the same time, like right now, how long does it take for a generation to kind of like change their perception? Because everyone like we're kind of coming to the back end of it, but like for me, for example, bro, like anytime you saw like purple, almost with any drug, like with a lot of different drugs, like weed, low-key Molly, like I'm always like everyone always like associates that with like it's fire, right? It's more so just
Yeah.
different, like and it stuck out because there was, it was harder to get. Like the generation before us was all about, green weed. Plus, they didn't have very, as good a weed. But the moment like you started, seeing in like, the GDPs and all that stuff start to really, percolate, the purple, it kind of comes off as, exotic, right? So, it's
Would you
definitely not,
say
yeah.
would you say that the supply, well, let me ask this. Would you say that in the bigger picture, before when OGs and all of these actual strains that had potency and had medical benefits, do you think that those were really in demand at some point due to the fact that when that was being grown, it was also being smoked by those people? They weren't growing like crazy amounts of it. They were smoking out of that stash. They didn't have opportunity to have a facility where they're growing all this different stuff and then smoke this other stuff that they're growing, you know what I mean, in their closet or wherever. I think that like just to now that the legalization, of course, what you just said basically, like, so it's the supply that's overseeing the demand, and now people are kind of in a state of confusion where they don't really know what they even want. So the demand is kind of like wishy-washy. They don't really know what is possible. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
that there
bro.
is like, a lot of stuff out there that is like great. It would be in high demand if people had access to it and even had the opportunity to see what it's smoking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I think
100. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. My bad.
yeah, I just don't think people give it the opportunity because they kind of judge the book by the cover. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of people will base their purchase with their eyes, and it is sad to say, but it just isn't really going to be solved. I don't think it's like really solvable, but maybe.
Yeah, it's really what, in my opinion, is like when is it gonna be where, and this is kind of where we've had this for a while. I mean, dude, if you ask, this is more so for like people that are like trying to maybe get some like some fire exotic, whatever you want to say. 9 out of 10 times, bro, you're getting like that purple tint at least, like lemon cherry or runs or like that's becoming the norm. And as long and then it's just really a matter of like how long is that going to be like is our kids or like they're going to be like all they think is like weed is regular weed is purple because right now in our minds we think of like regular weed is green. But the moment
Yeah,
that changes, which it will eventually, if there's just inherently this oversupply, who knows? Or maybe it's going to get complicated, bro, because with legalization, bro, it comes a ability to access a lot of different variations and just a lot of different options. So like the dominance, like I've talked about this before, like the dominance of like certain trends, they're gonna be around. But bro, is there really a beer, for example, that's dominating like a a regular kind of light beer that's dominates? Maybe White Claw, like maybe like the seltzers that when they came out, but no, there's not for beer, bro. There's like it's pretty like there's Bud Light, there's Coors, there's Modelo. I love Modelo, right? Like, but you know, and it's and that's really from a look standpoint, I guess, you know, with the perp too. There's
Would you
really
say though? Do you think it's possible for those people to? What were you gonna say right there? I feel like you had something to finish off.
no, you're good.
Um, there. What's it called? Like when it comes to Bud Light and all those different brands, though, you see that they have such control over the market. That is very interesting.
But
That
that's
is
a
a great.
product, but those are brands, and I gotta say this is the difference between like what I said though is that like, you know, like these are like what's been dominating style wise seltzers. That's a better example, bro. Seltzers have been dominating, so everyone now is doing seltzers. Like every Bud Light has a seltzer, right? They all have seltzers. When is it going to get to the, you know, it's more so now like, you know, anyway, I'm talking this here. I'm discombobulated myself, but
I totally agree with you.
supply and demand, bro. Yeah, at the end of the day,
It's
but
hard to figure this one out, to be honest. You know what I mean? I think that this is because, like, when you're looking at it, like, trying to find logic in it, it's just like, it's only money. That's all I see. It's like the only purpose for like this stuff to still be around is because people are growing it in such mass quantities and they've figured out a way to grow it where it's like going to be at a level that people will be satisfied with due to the fact that they aren't aware that there is different levels. And now most of the new age smokers are going to go into their experience smoking something that isn't necessarily even going to give them any effects, which is like sad, but it's like reality now.
I mean, I think it'll give them effects. It's just like there's
Hmm.
just some like, yeah, bro, it's weird. It's honestly weird, bro, because the weed is definitely like let's be real, like on an average, bro. The weed's gotten considerably better year after year. Like,
You
but
think
it's
so?
always weird though, bro, because you know why? You know what everyone always says though is that like, no, it's not actually. Like everyone feels like we're getting these cardboard terps. It's the same thing. And that's true, bro. I mean, I remember the 2010s, bro, the like, you know, that tw from like 2000 to 20 like 2015 kind of 14 for me personally, I guess for where I'm from, like that was an era, and I think a lot of people like really fire weed, like really good weed, because and a lot of that was because it was homegrown, like you said, it was a lot of his smaller batches, so there's more just caretaking, you know, this like mass scale where you got like a million fucking, you know, square feet of canopy is like, I mean, the supply, I mean, it's industrial now, right? We've moved to the industrial aspect to it where it's like not industrial like hemp or anything, but more so it's just mass. It's the scale is insane. The scale is industrial in nature.
To the point where people are literally like, I think people are just running stuff that is like, as I said before with my approach to videos, how I was approaching videos before, people are literally throwing shit at the fan and seeing what sticks. They're doing all these wild pheno hunts that are not necessarily stuff that you would really expect to work, but they're trying to see if it works. And then they're going to have people like buy all the phenos and like do like the hunt for them. It's like, it's the weirdest method, but it's working somehow, some way. So it's like I feel as if I'm in a position where I get looked at as a hater for even pointing out the fact that it is kind of just a wild way to go about it, but it is the approach people feel is necessary right now to oversee and overcome super the super pressure that the legal market is putting on the black market in a way. I think that people want to find a way to be able to oversee that demand. But one question I want to ask you, what do you think about the white ash? Do you think that that is just a whole scam? Do you think that that is a whole way?
I need to learn more about it. I definitely think that it's probably a little bit more. I've been told that it's kind of a scam. Um, but what's your thought? I haven't really kept up with this as much.
So there is a lot of different ways for you to actually get the stuff to burn white. In the bigger picture, if the stuff was old enough and if it was left out and dried, then it's gonna burn white. You know what I mean? It's just like lost all of its everything that's actually valuable in the plant. Once it actually leaves it, it's going to just burn white due to the fact that it is just nothing at that point. You know what I mean? So it's like when it actually is burning white, it is just minerals left over. So that means that there could have been a high feed of different things such as calcium, just phosphate, like stuff that is like minerals that are
Not
going
good for
to
you.
make. Yes, it's not good for you at all. In the bigger picture, it's like you could literally get this from just overfeeding salts and shit like that. So it's like, I don't know. In the bigger picture, I don't think that this is great. It has been something that has been overtaking the tobacco industry for so long, where people are having these weird fucking tournaments and all this shit about ash. And if we're adapting stuff and we're just taking stuff from the tobacco field and we're just doing it to sell stuff, then we are no better than the tobacco people. And anyone marketing themselves in that manner is no better than a tobacco salesman, in my humble opinion. I think that that is a very brutal way of saying it, but I think that that is honest. If anyone is marketing themselves like, oh, all white ashes, all this shit, it's like, how are you getting all white ashes? Are you doing it properly? If you were doing it properly, salute to you. There is ways of doing it, but you have to talk about the ways of getting that, and you also have to talk about the ways of people manipulating that if you are really going to be about it, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I also think people are going to be like, oh, you don't have to, and maybe you don't have to, but I do think people have to be a little bit more honest. And if they are feeding shit higher amounts of whatever just to achieve this white ash, then they are not people we should be taking as just
Yeah, I
great.
mean, it's definitely like, I think we do need to be careful about the whole like cannabis is about a like we're all great people, we're saving lives. Like, dude, cannabis at the end of the day is smoking. Like smoking can be bad for you, bro. Cannabis has got a lot of medicinal benefits, but bro, you can definitely abuse cannabis. You can definitely have cannabis be a negative aspect in your life. I mean, there's
Definitely.
definitely certain people that shouldn't smoke cannabis, just like there's certain
You could
people
have
that
food.
drink,
You could
right?
have food. Yeah, food. Anything could be a negative thing for you. In my opinion, I think that people should be marketing themselves as non-organic or not these things if they are going to be doing this. Though, if you're going to be saying that these things are, you know what I mean, or if
The
people are going to be
the
using,
market's gonna market, bro. People are gonna always cheat, steal, do all that kind of scummy shit, unfortunately. And hopefully, all we can really hope is that like, it all ends up where it should be, where people get exposed, people get, the market. The thing about it is the market wants what the market wants, but we all have the ability as individuals to affect the market and to, influence the market, right?
yes.
Because, and so it's while it is, while it is, there's definitely bad actors for sure that are just trying to make a buck.
Mm,
There's people like, us that are here to educate and other folks. And, like not to say like we're so great or anything, but just we all have our ability to influence the market and the perception and the education of the population, of the like cannabis consumer.
I agree with you. I definitely think that it is all up to what people want to take out of it too. At the end of the day, some people are going to hear things and they're not going to fully hear it. They're going to be kind of just passing it off due to the fact that they know it goes against what helps them fit in and all that. You know what I mean? Because like at the popular table right now, people have to kind of be accepting of the misleading, not really smart behavior that is happening, and it's scary to see. I do think that it is what it is. So I do appreciate you for doing this. I definitely want to do more interviews similar to this,
Yeah.
and I don't know if we even like covered everything in depth, but
Well, here, if you
I
want to
do
do another, if you want to do another interview here soon, let me know, bro. I'm super down.
definitely,
Yeah, no,
definitely.
I appreciate, I really enjoy this conversation, dude.
Is there anything you wanted to say? I should ask that.
Um, I would say, bro, is just sorry, that's my cat over there. She's just I would say,
I love.
bro, keep doing what you're doing, bro. I love to see it, man. I'm here to support. And just keep being you, bro, and just keep progressing. And I'm hyped to see what you do, bro. I'm very much so am. So it's yeah, bro. It's I'm glad someone else has finally kind of joined me in the realm that I'm in. It's honestly I've been waiting for you. So it's dope to see, man. And let me know if there's anything I can ever do to help, and just keep speaking, truth to power, bro. And make sure you set your principles now, bro, because things are gonna change, bro, for sure. But if you have that core set of principles, bro, the bigger you get, you'll be good, bro. Because I know you're gonna get bigger and bigger, bro. I can see it. So.
Is there any projects you're working on at the moment that you wanna?
Yeah, we're working on the spray pack documentary. That's gonna be coming out in a
I
month
can't
or
wait to see that.
so. Yeah, that one's gonna be cool. We're actually doing a whole tour for that.
Really?
Just educational tour actually, because I think this one's really important to educate folks on. So yeah, we're going to New York, so definitely we'll talk about that. But that one, and then we got the THCA documentary finally coming out this coming week or next week, I think. Yeah, next week.
Oh, well.
And then you got it. Yeah, we got the Haze documentary coming out for Retro Tech, coming out here soon, which is gonna be dope. Um, and we actually got a number of other really dope documentaries that are just starting to get in the works. So I'm very excited to continue on and grind these out. What
Out
about
of
you,
all the
bro? What's some of the ones that like what's some of the have you thought about any, what?
Well, at the moment, the only one that I'm really working on, well, I can't lie, I'm actually kind of working on two at the same time, but doing ones that aren't necessarily fully cannabis. It's one on Mike Tyson, and also I'm gonna try to do one on Jake Paul at the same time. If I can get them both done before the fight, I'm gonna try to do that where I can
That'd be
actually
dope.
like fully explain how they even got to this position where they're fighting each other, because there's actually like history behind them even coming to this position. It's fucking super weird. It's very interesting though. I think that this like fight between them has a lot more than people are giving it. I think a lot of people
I
are like
agree.
writing Mike Tyson off too. It's wild to see. If you look at his new sparring, it is just wild. He's like piecing people up that are much better than Jake Paul. So,
Yeah,
um,
I don't know, bro. It's funny. Like I'm so curious to see how that one turns out. I mean, I'm excited, bro, because it's a good matchup, bro. It's honestly
it's
it's
fun.
funny as it is. Like, yeah, he's fighting like a 50-year-old Mike Tyson, but like or 60-year-old Mike Tyson, but that's still Mike Tyson, bro. So
What I think about that is people will do with their lives what they want to do with it. It's not up to people to decide what someone should do with their life. If whatever people do with their time, as long as they're doing it in a safe manner, they're not necessarily hurting anyone like that doesn't want to be hurt. You know what I mean? Like obviously
yeah,
Tyson's in a position where he like obviously he's like sparring people and shit, so people are getting hurt, but you know what I mean. In the bigger
yeah, I
picture,
know,
this
yeah, yeah.
that
No,
is just very much like it is what America is, and I think America needs stuff like this right now, to be honest.
absolutely, bro. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more, bro. I'm hyped to see it, bro.
But is there what is the one thing that you would say people should go watch on your channel? What is one?
The one thing to go watch on my channel would definitely be it's a hard one, dude. It depends. It kind of depends what you want. Like, if you want like a long, really, really highly produced documentary, I go watch the Craft Farmer documentary. That's like an hour long. That's probably one of my best documentaries I've done. And then if you want something kind of shorter, all the like the early on high design episodes were dope. Like it's hard for me to say, bro. Honestly, I would say just go check them all out. To be honest. Mhm.
Well, I just want to give you your flowers. I would say that the burner one is definitely something that influenced me a lot to even do content in the bigger picture. I would say that that is something that it showed me that there is like an opportunity to do stuff. So I would say that I definitely appreciate the fact that you even started doing anything. So
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
yeah, no problem. I definitely want to see more people try to start doing this. So I
Yeah,
hope this video right here can give someone the kick in the ass that they need. Let's say it like that. But
absolutely.
I
Absolutely. I would say
definitely
last
appreciate.
thing I'll say, bro, is like we're humans, bro, and we got to grow, right? We're all
Yeah,
about growth. The moment we stay stagnant, it's okay, like, a little bit of stagnancy, but it's all about growing, bro. And the best way to grow is to go put yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable at, And if you're afraid to, step up and, but you've always wanted to do YouTube, this is the time, bro. Step up, bro, put yourself out there. Be uncomfortable, bro. That's where you grow. So yeah, I appreciate you for having me on, brother.
Exactly. I definitely agree with what you just said, and I definitely appreciate you doing this. So we'll talk more soon. I
All right, brother.
much appreciate
Appreciate you.
it.